Wellness Rhythm Show. Find your rhythm. Live your wellness.
Y'all, let me tell you something. My mom turned 62 last spring, and she came home from her doctor's appointment waving this glossy pamphlet about senior wellness programs. She was mortified. She looked at me and said, "Emma, I just ran a 5K. Why does this brochure have a cartoon of someone using a walker?"
That is genuinely funny, and also a perfect illustration of the problem. There is this enormous gap between what 60 plus actually looks like for millions of people and what the wellness industry keeps selling them, which honestly is either doom and gloom or absurdly expensive anti-aging snake oil.
Exactly. So today we are digging into what healthy aging in your 60s actually looks like. The real science, the practical stuff, and we are going to bust a few myths along the way. Whether you are in your 60s heading there or you are caring for someone who is, this one is for you.
Right, and I think the headline finding is genuinely surprising. In several key ways, your 60s can be one of the healthiest decades of your life if you know what to focus on. Let's get into it.
So let's start at the beginning. Because I think the first myth to tackle is this idea that 60 is when your body just starts declining, full stop, like it's inevitable.
Right, here's what the research actually says. A landmark study published in the New England Journal of Medicine found that lifestyle factors, not genetics, account for roughly 70 to 80% of how we age physically. Genetics loads the gun, environment pulls the trigger. That framing comes from researcher Dr. Thomas Perls at Boston University.
70 to 80%, that is huge. That means most of what happens to us in our 60s is actually within our influence.
Correct. And importantly, the research shows that people who adopt even modest healthy habits in their early 60s see measurable benefits within months, not years. The body is remarkably responsive.
Okay, so let's talk about what those habits actually are. Because I feel like most people hear healthy aging and immediately think supplements, like an entire shelf of supplements.
Yes, the supplement industry is enormous. Americans spend over $35 billion annually on supplements per the Council for Responsible Nutrition. And yet the research on most of them for healthy aging is underwhelming, to be polite.
Here's the thing, though. That doesn't mean nothing works. It just means we need to know where to actually put our energy.
Precisely. And the evidence consistently points to 4 pillars: movement, social connection, sleep, and nutrition. Not in a flashy way, in a persistent, boring, wonderful way.
Let's do movement first, because I think this is where the messaging has really failed people in their 60s. There is still this cultural hangover that says older adults should be gentle, low intensity, don't strain yourself.
And the science says the opposite. Dr. Wendy Court at the University of Colorado has done extensive work showing that resistance training, actual weight-bearing, challenging exercise, is one of the most powerful interventions we have for healthy aging. It preserves bone density, maintains muscle mass, and dramatically reduces fall risk.
My neighbor Carol is 67 and she deadlifts. She started at 64. She told me her doctor was shocked at her bone density scan.
That tracks completely. The research on sarcopenia, which is the age-related loss of muscle mass, shows that resistance training can genuinely reverse it even when started late. Dr. Miriam Nelson at Tufts University published foundational work on this in the 90s that still holds up.
Y'all, if you are not doing some form of resistance training, this is your friendly nudge. It does not have to be a barbell. Resistance bands, body weight, whatever fits your life.
And to be fair, walking matters enormously too. A study in JAMA Internal Medicine found that just 8,000 steps per day was associated with significantly lower all-cause mortality compared to 4,000 steps. The dose-response curve is real.
Okay, I want to jump to social connection because I feel like this is the one nobody talks about enough. And in your 60s, especially with retirement, kids leaving, maybe losing a spouse or friends, isolation can creep up on you.
This is critical. The Harvard study of adult development, one of the longest-running studies on human happiness and health ever conducted, led by Dr. Robert Waldinger, found that the quality of our relationships is the single strongest predictor of healthy aging. Not cholesterol, not exercise frequency, relationships.
That stops me every time I hear it. The single strongest predictor.
And isolation has measurable physiological effects. Dr. Julianne Holt-Lundstad at Brigham Young University published research showing that loneliness carries health risks comparable to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That's not metaphor. That is inflammatory markers, cortisol dysregulation, cardiovascular strain.
So this is a genuine wellness intervention. Calling your friend, joining that book club, saying yes to the neighborhood dinner.
Brilliant point, Emma. And I'll add, For our listeners in the sandwich generation who are managing aging parents right now, this is worth flagging to them. The data on structured social engagement for adults in their 60s and beyond is remarkably strong.
Right? Now, quick pause, because if this conversation is landing for you, please do us a favor and hit like and subscribe. We make this show for people who want real wellness information, not the glossy pamphlet version. Your support genuinely helps us keep going.
Genuinely appreciated. Now, let's talk about sleep, because I think this is where I have some friction with a common assumption.
Oh, here we go. What's the assumption?
The assumption that needing less sleep is a normal part of aging. People say, "Oh, I only sleep 5 hours now, I'm just older." And the research from the American Academy of Sleep Medicine is clear. Adults over 60 still need 7 to 9 hours. What changes is sleep architecture, not sleep need.
And this is where I want to push back a little, David. Because the advice to just get more sleep can feel incredibly dismissive. Some of my listeners are dealing with genuine sleep disruptions, chronic pain, caring for a partner with dementia, anxiety. It is not as simple as prioritize sleep.
That is a completely fair challenge, and you're right that I should be clearer. The evidence-based approaches here include cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, CBTI, which Dr. Michael Perlis at the University of Pennsylvania has shown to be more effective than sleep medication long-term. It addresses the behavioral and cognitive patterns disrupting sleep without dependency risk.
That is a genuinely useful piece of information, CBTI, not just sleep hygiene tips.
And for people dealing with pain or caregiving disruption, the research supports short strategic napping as a legitimate tool. Not replacement sleep, but a buffer.
Okay, let's hit nutrition, because I have feelings about this topic and the way it is sold to people in their 60s.
Do share.
Every other ad I see targeting older adults is either about some miracle supplement or some extreme elimination diet. And I want to scream. It's not what the evidence supports.
Agreed. The most robustly supported dietary pattern for healthy aging remains the Mediterranean diet, as validated extensively by research including the PREDIMED study, a landmark Spanish trial involving over 7,000 participants. Dr. Ramon Estruc led that work. It emphasizes whole foods, healthy fats, legumes, fish. It is not a protocol, it is a way of eating.
And critically, it is not expensive if you build it around beans and seasonal vegetables. This is accessible. David, I know you sometimes catch yourself recommending things that require a Whole Foods budget.
Yes, fair. Tinned sardines and lentils are genuinely as effective as smoked salmon and quinoa. The mechanisms don't care about the price point.
That is going on a t-shirt. The mechanisms don't care about the price point.
Let's also address the skepticism head-on, because some of our listeners will be thinking, this all sounds fine, but what about genetics? What if my family history is just bad?
Yes, what do we say to that?
The honest answer is, genetics matters, and it is not destiny. Research from the Blue Zones, the longevity hotspots studied extensively by Dan Buettner in collaboration with National Geographic, consistently shows that centenarians in places like Sardinia and Okinawa share behavioral and social patterns, not just genetic ones. Environment and behavior are doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
And here's the thing, though. This is actually empowering. You are not just waiting to see which genes activate, you have real agency here.
Which is probably the most important thing we've said today. Agency in your 60s. Real evidence-based agency.
Okay, y'all. If there is one thing I want you to walk away with today, it is this. Your 60s are not a waiting room. They are an active chapter. Pick one of the 4 pillars we talked about. Movement, connection, sleep, nutrition. And do one concrete thing this week. Not a lifestyle overhaul. One thing.
Right. And if I'm being precise about the evidence, if I had to rank them, I'd start with resistance training. 2 sessions a week. The downstream benefits on bone, muscle, mood, and cognition are remarkable. And Dr. Miriam Nelson's work showed meaningful results in as little as 12 weeks. 12 weeks is nothing.
That is such a David answer, and I love it. If I'm being precise, y'all, thank you so much for spending this time with us. Healthy aging is not about defying your age. It is about understanding it and working with your body, not against it.
Optimistically realistic as always. See you next time.
This show is part of the VoxCrea.AI system. If you want a show like this for your organization without building it yourself,
go to VoxCrea.AI and request a sample episode.